Is it time to talk? Is it time to talk decentralized healthcare? Is it my friend Rob Mattacchione that's on the air tonight? I think it is. Rob Mattacchione, we met about 6 months ago. He's the CEO and board chair of Novo Integrated, and what's been exciting to watching him is seeing him go from being a bulletin board publicly traded company to a NASDAQ company, and their stock symbol NVOS, by the way. And you go to Novo Integrated. The other piece of this thing was he's made us understand why it's so important to have decentralized healthcare. I think the best example, and Rob, tell me if I'm wrong here, the best example of bad, undecentralized healthcare would be the VA. If you're in the military and you got to go to the VA to try to get help, man, what would those guys give, Rob, to be part of your network and part of your technology to be able to be seen at home on their own computer in a decentralized fashion? Isn't that the example that we're trying to avoid? Because that's where our healthcare is headed, right?
Yeah, Sully, it's a great example of where it would be perfectly applicable. Ironically, the military is really the first case for decentralized healthcare abroad, let's say, right? That's really where they run it. And, you have these units all over the world that have access to amazing data fields and unbelievable care. But when you bring it back home and you're dealing with, post tours and outside of the actual military fold, it gets more complicated and it bogs down in a centralized fashion. So the decentralized approach in that model would be perfect.
Well, here's the other thing too. With the new Delta variant coming out, and obviously that's only sort of reaching people that don't have vaccinations, but this pandemic is further highlighting the need for decentralized healthcare.
Yep.
I mean, decentralization of the healthcare system has been due to COVID. Well, you guys were there ahead of time, but I think this is going to be a big impact on hospitals and medical facilities, and it's about time, right?
Yeah, Sully, the one thing we've seen in this is the absolute skill set that we have as a society to mobilize quickly when we have to, right? And you've seen these pop-up facilities all over the place for testing, for vaccination. And really what we're saying is there is no need to do that because we have the infrastructure to deal with that right now if we were to engage right across the board in a decentralized methodology. All these clinics across the country from coast to coast really create the opportunity to do what they were doing with these pop-up facilities all over the place. Right?
Not just the convenience of doing it from home, but the convenience of not sitting in an office with sick people waiting to see their doctor.
Well, I mean, there's a couple of examples of decent. I mean, I think one of the low-hanging fruit is this new concierge medical, to where you are you're paying extra to not have to go through that. But that's not true decentralized healthcare. I mean, and people do talk about the impacts of decentralization, like being equitable, because people can't afford it. There's got to be a premium to it. But it's it seems as though the more we want to get away from each other, the more this is going to matter. And look at the medical technology that's happening as a key component of future healthcare fits right into decentralization, correct?
Yeah, I think that what really affords us the opportunity to embrace the decentralized model is exactly that technology that you're referring to. And the decentralized aspect of care is not just to the home. There's different degrees of decentralization. Really what we're trying to propagate is the message that the system is there. The infrastructure is there, hospitals are necessary, but smaller facilities are absolutely critical to making sure that we access an entire broad population and afford them the opportunity that some of the people that are let's say better placed financially have available to them. And so you're right, Sully. The technology is the answer to all of it. It's about data management. It's how the data flows. It's how you create diagnostic opportunities and then therapeutic results from that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then the best parking places at the hospital won't be for the doctors anymore because they're not even going to be there.
That's right. They'll be at home.
They'll be at home. Just look them up.
They'll be exactly. Hey, Rob. Back to you. Rob Mattacchione is his name. He is the CEO and board chairman of Novo Integrated. Their stock symbol is NVOS. You can go to novointegrated.com. Let's talk about the company. What's happening for you? What's next for you in building that next generation of healthcare companies?
We're commercializing our technology as we speak. We ran through 2, 3, 4 months of beta, exhaustive beta. So that's coming to life, and we're excited about that because that'll have an application right across our network of affiliated clinics, as well as the general population on a just generic use basis. And we're really creating a strong emphasis on product and product manufacturing with our latest acquisition. We're focusing in on the next step to decentralization that has to be embraced, and that's wellness product solutions that you can utilize on a day-to-day basis to ensure that a healthy society is there first and foremost.
Yeah, and I think part of that is talking about adoptability. It's getting decentralized health, and what you guys are doing is being adopted more and more daily. Where maybe 2 years ago you would have had to sort of have a conversation and maybe do more of a pitch. Those days are over, aren't they, Rob?
Calling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Sully, you're right. It's adoption from both perspectives. The patient adoption is really geared and driven by the doctor's adoption of the technology. And we're seeing that now doctors are embracing it, and all kinds of doctors, not just general practitioners, but specialists. And even, as I said, before, in our primary care practice, which is physiotherapy, we're engaging in virtual treatment through physiotherapy, which is almost laughable if you think about it, because it's a hands-on type of approach to care, but yet we're finding huge success in doing it virtually. And if we can do it through physio, then every single lateral can adopt that.
Well, I can tell you also, my daughter graduates as a doctor of physical therapy here in just 4 weeks here, and I can tell you that one of the things that's top on the list is there's ancillary business models for them as physical therapists to go into the decentralized health model because it's more accessibility, and that's what it comes down to. Rob, thank you so much, buddy. Rob Mattacchione is his name. He is the CEO and board chair of Novo Integrated. Go check him out. NovoIntegrated.com. Also, they're publicly traded under the stock symbol NVOS.
I might need to get a hold of your kid.
You hurting? It's hurting?
Yes.
Is it just from getting old?
No, it's from body surfing and just getting launched right into the dead sand. It hurt like hell. I chipped my clavicle.